Hey guys, this is Nick from th8, and today we're taking a look at a 3-star conversion. This was an attack against GJ in our last war by Sven. This was a level 8 team from South Korea, and they were stupidly good. Their players really favored hog attacks, but they favored hog attacks on all the right bases, which made it rather difficult for us. Look at all of those 3 stars against us. And a lot of those were 3-star on the first try. So these guys were really good. We put up a good fight, couldn't quite keep up, but we did get a lot of really good attacks in. The first one is by Sven. Let's take a look at this sucker. So first of all, preface. This is a 3-star conversion, but in terms of just pure goWiPe technique, Sven is completely flawless here. So he is a maxed out Town Hall 8 going up against a maxed out Town Hall 8. The only thing this guy has to work on really are his walls, and they don't really matter because Sven just used an earthquake. So first off, let's take a look at the base layout. I know that in some previous attacks I have preferred sending a couple tanks up the middle and also sending a couple tanks around the side. So sending your main attack force here, and then maybe sending a P.E.K.K.A. that way and a P.E.K.K.A. that way, or a P.E.K.K.A. and a hero, with backup wizards to take out outside defenses. However, in this base, that's not really going to help him, because he's attacking from the north here, which I think is a pretty solid line of attack. And all of the defenses really on this front end that he's attacking from can be attacked from the center. So it makes more sense for him to funnel to get rid of these buildings and shoot his wizards in here, and then from there his wizards can take out all of these defenses. There is no need for him to send them around the outside with the tank. So what Sven does there is really good. I appreciate that he funnels and sends most of his troops down the inside. You can see him getting that funnel going. He sends out a P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A. tries to get distracted, but he does a really good job of finishing that off. And I do like that he's sending first one P.E.K.K.A. in and then the other, because then he can see exactly where the first P.E.K.K.A. is going, make sure that the second one's going the same way. So I believe that was a little boo-boo for him. He dropped the wizards here, top from his clan castle, and I believe he wanted them to go this way. But so many of the breadcrumb buildings in this area had been destroyed that they figured it would be faster to just go around the outside. So I think that's one, I'm not sure I would call it a mistake, because it does allow those wizards to clear out all of these outside buildings. But I don't think that went quite according to the plan Sven had laid out in his head. So let's keep going here. He's got his guys in, he's healing them up. The wizards are coring out all of these defenses from the inside. The tanks are doing a good job. He lures the clan castle and does an excellent position of a poison spell. And his troops are just rolling on in. So far, the attack's looking pretty good, right? Come back here. He's destroyed, this front half of the base pretty entirely. And, he's looking good. So at this point in his attack, from a completely troop deployment standpoint, there are only a couple things I would have changed. First, I wouldn't have dropped all my wizards. I would have kept a couple in, and then once these defenses were taken out, up in here, I would have dropped one wizard here and one wizard here, assuming that he didn't already have wizards going around the outside. That way those lone wizards could take out all of these buildings. And, maybe he could have 2 archers in his pocket. Let's see, yeah, this guy's got buildings on all 4 sides, so maybe he's got 3 or 4 archers in his pocket and just drops 1 on each of the corner buildings. So that's what I would have changed as far as troop deployment. So now let's take a look at army composition. His army's doing pretty well at this point, but here he runs into one of the big issues that we have with the goWiPe, and that is we do an excellent job of getting to the base and hollowing it out, but it's really hard to deal with these backside defenses, especially when they're maxed out. They tend to cause trouble for us. So one thing that I might have changed, I'm going back and forth about it, but I would have included either some backside hogs or some backside loons. So with the hogs, you know, pretty much as soon as these first thing of defenses started targeting, you could just drop, I don't know, let's say either 8 hogs or 8 loons, and you could just, you know, drop them here and here. If he was going for loons, he might want to have waited for a little bit longer until the wizards take out these air defenses. So actually, right now might be a good time to drop loons if he brought loons along. In that case, he would probably want 6 to 8 loons. He'd want to drop, they say 2 is the minimum for taking out archer towers, so maybe 3 since they're not max loons. Maybe 3 loons here on that archer tower, 3 loons on that one, and then the loons could go over and take out these lower health buildings without an issue. So yeah, let's operate under the assumption that he, you know, changed up his army composition a bit. So let's go back to the beginning and look at ways that he might have changed his army composition. So that's the 2-star conversion, 3-star conversion part of this video. Okay, pause. Oh, that's not pause. We're going to zoom out. And so he's deployed 5 wizards, so it looks like he originally had 20 wizards with him. And 2 golems. So I think that's a good number. One thing I might have changed, let's see. He has level 6 wizards in the clan castle. Let's draw a changes. So clan castle. He's got level 6 wizards in the clan castle, but really level 5 wizards deal almost the exact same damage as level 6. So I'm not sure it really would have gotten him much to get those level 6 wizards in the clan castle. So let's put something else in there. If he was dropping the backside loons at a single point, he could have asked for max loons. That would have been helpful because level 6 loons are considerably stronger than level 5 loons. However, he would have wanted to drop them at 2 points, here and here. So in that case, I probably would have gone with maybe one of the tanking units. So he's th8, so let's say he drops one of these P.E.K.K.A.s. He just had one P.E.K.K.A that he brought, and then he added CC P.E.K.K.A. So what else do we have here? So that gives us 25 units to play with. We had level 6 wizards in the clan castle, and so that begs the question, is it really necessary to have 25 wizards in this attack? I'm thinking no. Part of that's because I want to use backside loons, and let's say I want to use 6 backside loons. So we know that they'll be able to take out these ABs, and then hopefully they'll move on and take out this other, at least one of these other damage dealing units, or defenses on the backside. So in that case, instead of having 20 wizards, let's do 19. Of those, he would save perhaps 3 wizards in his back pocket, so he would end up sending 16 wizards down the middle. He would have 1 wizard apiece for taking out these side buildings after his main force had killed all of these defenses, and then he would have had 1 wizard for cleanup. You know what? Let's make that 18. Let's do 18 wizards. So 6 backside loons, 18 whiz, 15 into core. And then we'll do 4 archers. As it is, Sven didn't really have a good way of getting to those corner buildings. So 4 archers would have given him an easy excuse to take out all of these corner structures. So other than that, you know, I like his army composition. So we'll keep the fact that we've got 2 golems and I'm not quite sure he needed as many wall breakers as he had, because he'd already blasted this big old hole. So unless I'm remembering incorrectly, the only real purpose of having wall breakers is to take out this wall. Well, you know what? Sven's right, because this way, if some of our wall breakers get killed off by point defenses, we've got others to finish blowing a hole in the wall. So that's good. So these are the changes I would have made. Other than that, all of the other troops are good. I like the wall breakers. I like the 2 golems. And his spell choice was really good. Okay, so now with this new army, we've pretty much gone from 25 wizards to 18, because we don't really need that many, honestly, as long as we've got tanks to protect them. And let's walk through what that placement would be like during the attack. So same thing that he did here in terms of dropping wizards to funnel. Honestly, I might have just, well, hard to tell. I might have just dropped 2 wizards on each side and just taken out these defenses here. And that gives the P.E.K.K.A plenty of breadcrumbs to go here and then go into the middle. So anyway, we're going to keep on going with the attack. Yeah, it wasn't really necessary to have those extra wall breakers, and they don't end up doing anything. But yeah, so pause. Another issue with this is that the wizard deployment was a little late. So perhaps instead of waiting until all these buildings were gone, as soon as he figured out that the first P.E.K.K.A was going the right way, he could have dropped his second P.E.K.K.A and all the wizards. Let's keep going. So at this point in our imaginary attack, we don't have any wizards on the outside, not yet, and we've got all of our troops going into the middle. So he's cleaned out those defenses, he's cleaned out those defenses, bam. Okay, so at this point in our imaginary attack, I would drop 2 more wizards of the 3 he kept in his pocket. 1 there, 1 there. Those wizards' job is to clean out the outside. I wouldn't drop the archers to clean up the edges yet. He's got an attack to focus on. So his guys get to the middle. He starts wrecking. And this is when he's going to start thinking. He's used all of his spells, so this is when he needs to start thinking about when he's going to drop those backside loons. Honestly, at this point, when his wizards start going out to the edge, that might be a good time to drop his loons, because then they've got a time to travel. Hopefully by the time they get there, the ADs are gone. So 3 here and 3 here, because the loon's first priority is to take out the buildings that will take them out, those archer towers, and then, yeah, I mean, the wizard towers will weaken all of them at the same time, They don't do nearly as much damage individually, so as long as we take out our point defense here, there's not really anything that'll stop our loons from taking out these structures. And that, I think, would have allowed his core units to survive longer, because you see they're going to take out this cannon pretty quickly. And these mortars aren't much of an issue, but it's these two strong pocket defenses that end up killing his attack. So we've dropped the loons in our imaginary mines, both ADs are gone, and at this point, you know, his core units aren't looking too shabby. I mean, they could be better, but he's still got plenty of wizards. I believe he's got a P.E.K.K.A. in there. He's got a golem. So really, this is where things start getting hairy, because his P.E.K.K.A. has, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys targeting him. We've got this big bad group in the corner. So I believe if he had had loons, let's say the loons probably hadn't arrived quite yet, but they'd arrive at this point. So at this point, he's still got, you know, some guys up and running. So, you know, the archer tower would have been taken out. The archer tower would have been taken out. So he wouldn't have lost those wizards in the middle. It still would have been close. This is definitely a hard base. But I do think that there would have been the possibility of 3-starring it with some backside loons. So anyway, he does the cleanup. P.E.K.K.A.'s doing a good job of tanking for his wizards. Almost makes it. So close. So this is a really good attack by Sven in terms of a pure goWiPe. It's just about everything we could possibly ask for. But I think by converting it into a goWiPe with backside loons, we might have had a little more potential for 3-star. Excellent job, Sven. Thanks.